What's up, guys? Hello, man. Okay, sorry, it's been kind of crazy, and I had to actually get my coffee, so I've been helping everybody else. I gave you guys a packet here that's for you. Let me be a, like a conditioner. Put this thing close to my damn face. There we go. But it just it's for you to go and look at later. There's even some exercises you can do, so that way it's if you want to like, I'm trying to make you like brainstorm just a little bit. Um, this is for like the business of art. This is dealing with art. It doesn't matter. Okay, it's trying to look at things from a business standpoint. Little somebody just for I'll bleed that in. So I worked out in Hollywood for 11 years for CAA, which is the Creative Arts Agency, Morgan Creek Landscape Entertainment, and it really introduced me to the business side. I'd had film in college. It wasn't even remotely close to what the real life is. So I got a kind of a crash course in business, which is what I'm trying to pass on to you guys. Now I can tell right now, my wife says probably slow down. I talk really fast, but I'll try to slow it down just a little bit. So when I went out in Hollywood and I worked for CAA, I got introduced to doing contracts, to negotiations, to representation of people, working with the networks and studios and things like that. Um, we used to run into all the time, where especially with writers, a lot of times musicians, but specifically writers and filmmakers, that I'm an artist. It's like, oh, I'm an artist. Okay, it is the film business, it's the music business, it's the art business. Okay. If you're not making money, okay, nobody cares about your art. I'm not trying to be mean or anything. I'm just letting you know it's about the return on investment in you. So what I want to do is I want to in this thing today, I want to kind of talk about valuation. Okay, like how do you add value to you? Like how much are you worth? How do you increase that worth? I'm going to talk about branding. I'm going to talk about marketing. I'm going to talk about ancillary revenue generation. Okay, because there's other ways to make money besides just, let's say, for music, doing a gig. Okay, you can make money in other avenues. For art, there's other things, just putting paintings up on the wall, ways to generate revenue. So I'm going to try to give you kind of a little bit of an overview, and then what I'll do in later workshops, I'm going to start going to other stuff a lot more in depth. But anyway, so I work for the Creative Arts Agency. I work for Morgan Creek, which is a motion picture production company. Georgia Rule. Let's see, there's Good Shepherd, Man of the Year, and then with Landscape Entertainment for John Tucker Mustai. Yay! Uh, anyway, so over those years, I got to learn a lot of stuff. I know we were talking the other day, and you said that's how I've kind of got 15 years on you. Truth of the matter is, I really got about 26. Okay, because there's also 11 years of Hollywood before that. So I'm going to try my best to explain it as simple as I can. If you ever have a question, stop me. I'll repeat the question because we're also being streamed live, so people know what question was asked, and I'll try to answer the best I can. If I don't know, because I'm not acting like I'm the end all be all, okay, I will find out for you. Okay, so anyway, give me one second. Okay, let me do this. I think better when I walk. Okay, so valuation. How much are you worth? Okay, so if you are an artist, like we have art up on the walls here, painting. Okay, what is the value of your worth? Okay, first off, let's talk about costs. You have to understand what the true costs are, and as you as a product. Okay, if you're not selling a product, you are the product, and as an artist, you are the product. Um, on a painting, we'll use that. You have the cost of paint, you have the cost of the canvas, and you have your time that took to paint that. Okay, that's your cost. That's your cost of goods and services. That's what your true cost is involved with that. Now, if you have your art up in places and it's not selling, that's called a loss. Okay, you're not making money. You're losing money. Okay, and that's how you don't get to be a professional artist. So, music, obviously, it's time. Yeah, like how much time have you been playing the guitar? How much time do you take driving? How much money do you spend in gas? And all that kind of stuff. Those are your costs. Okay, your cost between gigs, all over. That comes out of your pocket. Okay, so you have to be able to factor it into what your cost of doing service is. Otherwise, you're spending all this money on stuff and you're not pulling enough money to get that. Um, we'll talk about how to increase your value later, but this is just kind of an overview on that part. So, how do you evaluate yourself? First off, you can't just say, "Oh, I'm going to sell this painting for this much money." Well, where'd you pull it out from? Okay, because you really didn't. uh, thing. You just pulled a number out your back end. It comes down to supply and demand. Okay, like this. I'm going to talk on just art for a second. If you have paintings all over the place, okay, and they're not selling, your supply exceeds your demand. So when your supply exceeds your demand, it's actually going to lower the value of your paintings. So a lot of times scarcity is best. In music, I know we talked about this too, about when we talk about zip codes. Sometimes scarcity increases your value. Okay, if you are playing all the time, which I understand, you have to make money. Understand that. But if you're playing all in the same zip code, there's no scarcity. Okay, which is going to lower down how much you're worth, your valuation. Film, same thing. If you got uh, tons of films out there, they ain't making no money. You're not worth shit. Okay. Um, so what you want to start trying to think about doing is how can I limit or decrease my exposure in a certain area, but increase maybe a broader exposure overall. Like for the art on paintings, maybe some paintings here, but you got some paintings across town, not 50 paintings up in one place. Okay, or the same thing. Music, maybe you play over here one night, you play over here, two towns over another night, and over here another night. Okay, when you do that, you're creating scarcity to your audience. Okay, it's like they want to come see you. So when you pop up, boom, I'm playing. Everybody's like, dude, I got to go see him again. Okay, they shouldn't be able to see you every night of the week. Okay, that's how you actually suppress your wages, and it keeps people from wanting to you won't make more money. Okay, so on the valuation aspect of that, it's about creating scarcity, supply and demand. Okay, so it's all dealing with like business. Um, on because we don't have any filmmakers, I see we just musicians and stuff, and I really thought one of the artists would be here for. Shuri was going to come here, but what's that? Okay, so there, art painting, same thing. Um, we'll get a lot of stuff on ancillary income for you guys because there's a lot to be done with you guys. But whenever you think like this one here on the paintings, and we had an artist created a thing. It's like these little 5 inch by 5 inch, and they wanted to have say I think it was $90 per. Nobody bought them. Nobody. Everybody would laugh, leave. Nobody bought them. Okay. So the problem is when you have all these ones over there that nobody's buying, that's lost money. But if you were to take it down, you don't have as many of them, and maybe try $40. Okay. Well, man, you know what? Now I'm selling. They're just flying out the door at $40. Move it up to 45. They're flying out the door at 45. When you move it to 50, it kind of slows down a little bit. So turn it back to 48. You know what I'm saying? And see, you're going to find what your value is. Okay, what's your true that you're worth. Now, when those things are flying off out the door, now you start to get scarcity because now people have to wait for you to paint something, and that's what makes your value go up. So when you're having to wait for it, now you can do 55, now you can do 60, and that's how you increase your value as an artist in that part. For musicians, okay, value. Okay, so let's say I'm not going to get into the whole open mic thing. Just at this one place, and you do $50 an hour, play for 2 hours, make $100. Okay. Well, if let's say you're here for 100, then you play the next night for 100, next night for 100. Okay, you're in the same town. You're not leaving. There's no scarcity. But yet you book over here, you do 50. Now you book over here, and let's say Houston. Okay, well now I threw $75 an hour. Just I'm pulling that number out my ass right now. $75 an hour. Well, if they start saying, well, yeah, but you're doing this, yeah, but I have to travel over to you. I got somebody else is looking for me at this price. I can do that for you. You know, okay, I can manage that. So now you go over to this place. Now here's the real kicker on valuation too. And we had a great night last night, by the way. Awesome. Okay. It was this place was packed last night. It was insane. Okay. Um, let's say we're gonna take last night. Leah came in, packed the house completely. There was not, I mean, it was standing room only. It was awesome. As a venue owner, I'm looking at this. I'm going. You know what? If I have her, I'm going to pack this again, and I'm going to make money because it is about making money. Okay, so I hire her again. Now, if I start having her back twice a week, there's no hunger in it. Okay, so what I do is I book her like once every 2 months or something along that line. Okay, that keeps the hunger. So now, oh man, we get to see her again. Boom, the ones that are local come in here, increases the value. But let's say I hired her. Next time she's got one table. One table comes in. That's called a loss to me. I can call it a fluke, this time, I can whatever. But if that happens a couple times, your value now decreases. So this is when we're also getting into branding and marketing a little bit. So I'm just trying to increase on what valuation is. So as a artist, as a musician, as a filmmaker, you always have to be hustling. You always have to be building your name. You have to build your brand. Okay, because it's like they have to be able to um, understand uh, that they're not going to get to see you that often. Yeah, what's up? You okay? Yep. Mhm. Mhm. Okay, her question was on exposure. Like, because if you're trying to get started, you're trying to build yourself, you obviously have to expose yourself. That didn't sound right. So, so anyway, I no, I understand because you have because that's the part in your career that you're making a name for yourself. Now, there's different ways you can do it, which we'll get into later on ancillary, whether it be putting stuff out on YouTube, branding yourself, marketing yourself, showing up at other venues. Okay, not necessarily all the time. Sometimes just network. Okay, get out there. And I remember when I first saw Austin Gaston, he just came just to support another artist. He was sitting at a table and they go, "Hey, you want to get there and play?" Oh yeah, he got up here and played a couple songs. I was blown away. You know what happened? I hired him. I got him hired. Okay, it's like sometimes don't necessarily do it for a booking. Go out there to where the venues are at. Go out to where people are booking you. Okay, and just go support the other artists. Okay, I can't tell you how many times I've had something here and no other artist is coming to support the other artist. Okay, it's like no, it's not saying you have to go spend money. Just come in and give them a crowd. There is nothing more that people don't like that people like than being up here and feeling like, you know what, God, man, these people came out to see me. It's like, this is support. This is family. This is friends. You know what? That network is going to grow you. It's going to grow you. Now, none of this is get rich quick schemes. None of this is. It is hard, hard, hard work. Okay. And it is never stopping. Okay. You will always be branding. You will always be marketing. You will always be putting new product out there. Okay. You're going to hit walls. You're going to hit humps. You're going to hit obstacles. Don't get discouraged. Okay. Everybody wants to get in this freaking business. Okay. So just stay true to what your brand is, stay true to your songs, your music, and keep going. You're going to be successful. Okay. You just have to be smart about how you maneuver yourself. But like for exposure, go to places like go just support, and every once in a while, maybe get up there and play a song or two. Okay. That's exposure. You can go and do a smaller gig somewhere to get hired. It also gives you stage time. Okay, stage time, because it's not just about in music aspect. It's not just about music. It's about performance. Okay, you need to be able to perform and entertain the audience that gets their attention. If you're just up here just strumming away and sitting here and talking and so forth, nobody's gonna pay attention to you. They're gonna go back to their conversation. That's not building your brand either. So engage with people, let them get to know you, let them get to know the story behind the song, which I'm getting ahead of myself on this, but let them get to know the story behind the song. They can attach to you. Okay. And when they attach to you, they're going to go listen to what other things you've got, Spotify, Amazon, whichever. Okay. So just exposure, you just have to get out. Don't look at everything as, am I making a dollar right now? Sometimes your time is more valuable than what the dollar is. Okay. So don't, don't let a venue abuse that. Okay. But what I'm saying is like, it's like still go support the other artists. Okay. Network with each other. Get there and play a song. That's how you do it. You'll build yourself up. And then eventually the owners are going to see you and they're going to have you back in. Maybe like one thing I'm going to start doing at my place, I'm going to start having openers. So we'll have a main act, but we're going to have an opener. Why? Because I'm going to attach an opener to the didn't have it. Okay. That's like, so you just come in, they'll play for an hour, play a 45-minute set, whichever. Now you've got exposure. Okay. Be willing to do that. You know, if you do, even if it's like playing for cheap. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's who you attach yourself to. If if there is a like we have a band coming here, Red. They're a national band, really good following. People came in from out of town to come see them last time I had them here. So it's like maybe you say, hey, I just want to open for them. Okay, you open for them. Maybe I'll probably toss you some money just to play there for playing, but it's not about that. It's about being attached to somebody who's already got a big following. Okay, that's really good. Maybe they like you. Maybe they want you to open for them later down the road on out of town. So that's the exposure. Is that kind of what you're asking about? Okay. So go ahead. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Well, it's on art. Okay, I've got a lot of art at my house. Okay, a lot of art comes down to first off, I have some of the paintings in here are actually from my house. Okay, I like the art. Okay, it's but I like because I like it. I also have a story behind all the paintings I have for the artist. So when it gets into branding and marketing, that's very important for artists. Okay, obviously you want to get into gallery showings and be able to show that, which galleries take a huge chunk of that money and stuff. But in fact, I think I'd put a deal on the Indie Experiment group where I was just talking about an artist has a gallery showing. Okay, you go out there now. You've invested in, let's say, 10 cases of wine or 5 cases of wine, 10 cases of water. You've got all this art in there. You're having to pay them 40% to the gallery or whatever, and you sell 3 pieces. Okay, it's almost you're hoping to get a commission out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like that where somebody's going to commission you to paint something or that you're going to, get more known. But a lot of times you kind of lose your ass in those things. Okay. You just do. So I'll talk about, I think I'll tell this because it's in the deal. But I said, but what if you have, let's say, an etched wine glass that has some type of piece of like art, and you have them like, and they're numbered like 1 of 25, 2 of 25, and you have that, and people can purchase this glass for like 15 bucks, 20 bucks. Well, then now for a simple $20, they can now take this glass around, and show that they support the art. Okay, they just want to be seen with your shit anyway. Okay, but that's the way you can make more money off the ancillary stuff than you do off the main thing. So it's thinking outside the box, really trying to don't just do what everybody else does. Okay, the if you just do what everybody else does, you'll get lost in the crowd. Okay, try to think outside. What's a different avenue we can go about getting something, getting noticed, and um, it's the person that's I'm trying to think how to say this. Have you ever been in a group, okay, and there's like a group of 10 people, and there's that one guy that's got his freaking let's just this is stupid. This is going back to days of crisscross. They had their pants on backwards. I'm not saying do this, but that one person that was different, you saw it. It made you more. It gave you more exposure, even as dumb as that was. It gave you more exposure. But when you do stuff outside of the box, you're more likely to be seen and think of some reaching an audience and a market some way that other people were not able to. Okay, so we're kind of jumping all over the place now. So let me get back in here. Okay, as I said in the beginning, okay, if you are not selling a product, you are the product. Now, when it comes to art, you're kind of both. Okay, you are selling a product. You're selling your art. Okay, but you are that product. Okay, more people buy art because of the artist and their story. That's why they're worth more when they're dead. Okay, just so it's always the story behind that gets people to buy the art. They love it. It speaks to them. So the here's the part is that you need to be able to become your brand. Okay, so when I talk about branding, okay, everybody knows McDonald's. You see the golden arches, you know McDonald's. You didn't have to say McDonald's, but you know it's McDonald's. It's Starbucks. Oh man, burn just saying that in here. But when you see the logo, the emblem, you know it is without even saying it. So we have when we go out in a group, how many times does somebody introduce themselves that you cannot remember their name? You remember their face, but you cannot remember their name because we are visual. Okay, we are visual people. It's like I'll remember somebody's face. It'll take me 5 times to learn your name. So, as a artist, as a musician, and so forth, you need to think of something that's a brand. Okay, it's like what's on your freaking hat. Okay, exactly. Okay, so but I'm saying it's like, but when you see that, you know exactly what it is. Okay, you need to come up with something, even if it is doing your name in a certain font, and always stay with. Don't change it. Once you've established what your brand is, your font is, what your color scheme, stick to it. Okay. People know us as Indies Coffee or Indies Coffee Bar and Speakeasy. The one thing that you actually will recognize, we have the exact same logo for both. Indies Coffee and exact same logo. One just says Coffee Bar and Speakeasy. The other just says Indies Coffee. The reason why is when you're going down and you ever see that emblem, you don't even have to read it because of the color combination and how the logo is. You'll know what it is. Okay. Same thing goes when you go for music, you go for art, film, whichever. Create your brand. Okay. Now, this is just, I'm not talking in brand as just being a logo. Okay. Yes, that's part of it. Okay, giving some type of an image to you that represents who you are. In fact, get a sheet and be very self-reflective and write a freaking sheet about who you are. Who do you are? Who do you want to represent? What are you trying to do when you sing your music, do your art, whatever? What is your purpose? Okay, is it just like, oh, I want to be rich? Well, no, okay, whatever. Okay, do a money sign, you know. Um, but it's what? Who are you? Okay, when you sing your music, I guarantee if you got soul in your music, there's something about you that has that soul that it's coming from. Figure out what that is and create an idea, a brand, and an image around that, and then stick to it. Now, branding. Whenever you go out there, whenever you reply to any, when you put out any type of interview, when you have certain music, whatever, keep it to your brand. Okay. I know sometimes people want to go off, especially on social media. I don't do it. My wife does. You want to go off and you want to get in everything and whatever. Keep your responses in accordance with your brand. Keep your interest in accordance with your brand. Because what happens is everybody that's around that brand is going to come back and you're gonna get a following whether you like it or not. Okay, so focus on, wow, I just had some serious deja vu. Wow, you ever have that where you're like, I've been here before. Um, that was wild. Yeah. What's that? Yeah, no, no, yeah. Every day I'm here, but no, it's just like I've been here. It's weird. Okay, but just focus on sticking with your brand, on who you are, so that people can get to know you as a person, get to know you as an artist. There you go. But yeah. What do you mean what to leave out? Is in what? Hmm. No, no, no. I'm not. We're not asking to say, hey, give everything. It's like what I'm saying about on the brand is, um, okay. Our thing for Indies coffee. Whenever I started Indies, okay. Okay, sorry. No, yeah, true. Thank you. No, she goes. What about on your brand? On what do you leave out? She goes. I don't want to tell my whole story and so forth on there, which I get that. You don't need to hold your whole story, but your whole story is who you are. Okay, you still come down to a core element. Yes. Yep. Oh yeah, yeah. That's a, yeah. Mm, yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Well, and that's true. Now I know a lot of art is expression and your point of view and what you want to do, and you want to basically have a view of your opinion on things and to try to help turn and make life better. Let's just say that. Okay, I get that. And what she was talking about, she's saying like don't get all involved in politics and something along that line. Yes. Okay. I'll go with just a little on that because I know it's kind of hard when you get into the art thing. Understand you can get into the political aspect of things. Okay, you can get into the activism of things. Understand you're going to alienate half your audience. Okay, that whether you like it or not, you're going to alienate half your audience. So you have to be willing to ask yourself what is more important to you, and maybe that's part of your brand. Okay, maybe that is more a core of your brand. Okay, so just ask yourself what your end goal would be. Okay, so yes, try to stay clear of all that crap. Um, yeah, yeah. Speak for itself. 100%. Yeah. 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 Yep. Yeah. Actually, it's a good point. He just said that don't engage back and forth. That let the art do it, and that's true. 100%. That's a great comment. Um, Back on the branding aspect of what I was talking about. So we have a series we're going to start doing called the Indies Live here. We're going to have it's going to be basically live recording an album, but we're having the artist is going to communicate and perform with the audience. Okay, what they do though, by when they sit down and they tell the story behind the song and so forth, it's not getting into that political aspect of it. But what I'm doing, I'm telling them you're attaching to the audience. Okay, so that song, you may now have some connection with somebody in the audience. Your story is going to probably be different than theirs, but whatever you did just connected with them that they can associate to something in their life. And now that song or art or whichever means so much more. Okay, because now I have a personal vested interest in your art. Okay, so but if you start um, on the other aspect, so I did Good Shepherd with Bob De Niro, Damon, Jolie, and so forth. Um, Working with De Niro was something, okay, but he's very particular about what he wants to do always. I think we spent a whole day recording for a 15-second spot of a Christmas song because he didn't know which one he wanted to do. So about $175,000 what it cost for a 15-second spot. Now, love De Niro, loved his movies. Okay, then De Niro got where he got really political, and became where he's just shouting all the time, things like that. Now, the problem with that I had with that is that I always had a suspension of disbelief when it came to the actor. I could see you in the role you're portraying. Now I only see him as the screaming guy. You know what I'm saying? That's the one problem you can have when you can take it too far in that. So I mean, you have to really try to balance that. I'm not going to tell him don't do it. He believes that way, but he's De Niro, But still, it's like now every time I look and I watch any of his movies come out, that's all I see. So I mean, it's even if I was believing the way he does, I now see Bob De Niro. I don't see his character. Um, but in branding, try to write a paper that try and be honest with yourself. Okay, on what is it you want to do? What is it you want? What do you want to portray? What do you want to give to the audience? What do you want to give to society that represents who you are? And then you can start taking that down to core pieces. Start taking down into little things until you can refine it down into a single line. Okay, Indies Coffee, inspiring artists one cup at a time. Okay, I mean it's just like you got one line that just tells me this is what I want to do. Okay, I want to discover new visions and voices. That's the whole purpose of me building everything you see here was that. Okay, but it didn't happen overnight. Okay, I literally have been doing this stuff for years. Stuff. So it's just keep at it, refine it, so forth. Come up with a brand. You come up with a brand, and you guys can feel free to grab it. Don't feel like you have to just listen here. Um, and also too, if you need sodas, whatever, we got that as well. Um, Marketing. Once you've established your brand, you now need to market yourself. Okay, the you have to have the brand before you market because you're gonna market based on the brand. Okay, so okay, sorry, well, it's distracting. Okay, so anyway, when you're doing marketing, there's different avenues to do it. Okay, you can have everything from doing print to social media to TV interviews, learn about press kits, also the kind of so forth. Okay, um, artists. Okay, you can actually make like little postcards. You can actually do like small little business cards that have your art on it or something. You can do little stickers, things that are inexpensive. Okay, that maybe it just gets put in front of somebody. They're like, oh, this is kind of cool. What's this? And have your information. They got to be able to contact you. Go to your website. If you don't have a website, get one. Okay, even as a personal musician, whatever, make one because the web can make you bigger than you actually are. Okay, I have we had a musician come through here, really good musician. I'm not gonna say who this is because I'm about to talk about it, but it's I had a really good musician come through. But we were getting in contact like, oh yes, I'm so and so's manager, and we're booking, blah blah blah. He's really busy. He's on tour right now, doing all this stuff, blah, blah, going forth. And I'm like, okay, I'm in my head. I'm going, okay, it's the wife. Yeah, okay, but they were making him sound bigger than what's like. Oh man, well I need to grab this guy while he's coming through because he's gonna be gone. But it was something so simple of the wife was being the manager, booking person. But I'm like, it made him seem like they're a bigger act. Sometimes it's the perception upon which you put off that increases your value, increases your demand. Okay, now in doing the marketing aspect, You can actually do something. I'm trying to think for art wise, is what I just told you about with postcards, stickers, and so forth. Get out there for a musician. A lot of that's going to be more. Maybe you make up some flyers that you're going to take to other like venues and stuff, and drop those off. That maybe go to your Spotify or your Amazon or something like that. That makes people go and listen to something you put out there. Now, to them, they see this like little professional, 4x6 card or however big you want to make it. Like, oh, what's this? And they have a QR scan code. They scan it all goes right to your freaking song and music. It's one they can hear you. It's an original song. They're all over it. You know what I'm saying? Like now they're going to find out more. Marketing comes down to more than just hey, I'm putting out a commercial. Okay, it's how do you get out there and make people know that you exist. That's the whole part about marketing. When I market for my company, I'm just letting people know I exist. Now I will find other things that aren't necessarily in your wheelhouse, but that can pertain to. Okay, and by that, what I mean is, let's say you find out there is a uh, college film festival going on. Okay, for example, you're a musician, college film festival going on. Go down there and meet with the filmmakers. Take some flyers, okay, on music on and make ones that say studio sound or it's like we bass lines whatever. You're gonna find filmmakers that are wanting to get your stuff. Now they're gonna sit there and call. They're gonna look at it. It creates traction on you. But now it just made like you're getting into film and stuff as well. You're increasing your avenues for revenue generation besides just going to a bar. Trying to think on like, and I think I got some more things in that packet too on the marketing wise. Yep. Mhm. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, if you're getting out and going to talking to venue owners, okay, it works. But I'll tell you also, be respectful of time. Okay, I'm just saying that because it's like I get bombarded all the time with musicians. Now, if the owner says, "Hey, just do this," just do it. Don't keep them on the phone. Okay. I'm speaking from personal experience. It's like people will call me and I'm like I'm busy, and they just keep carrying the conversation. I'm like I gotta go. Bad thing right from the get go. But if they say, hey, just I tell you what, I'm busy right now, but send me over an email to this. Do it, initiate the conversation, and just keep in touch. Nurture these things. In fact, that's a good. Here's another good point. Set aside one day a week, maybe 2 days, whatever, and you have between this time and this time. This is when I'm going to follow up with people, or I'm going to branch out. I'm going to reach out, and I'm going to try talk, create new connections with new venues, with new galleries, things along that line. Set a time. This is a job. This is a job. Okay. It's like, this is not like, oh, yeah, when I get up today, I'm going to go do this. Okay. You're not going to get shit done. Okay. It's like every person, when I was out in Hollywood, okay, every person that was successful, dude, they had it down on a calendar on how much drive time they had, what meeting they're meeting with, who they're talking to. It's like we'd answer phones between this time to this time. We drop calls between this time and this time because you didn't want to talk to somebody. So there's certain things it's like be organized. Be organized. Understand this is a job. People get up and go to their work to go do computer IT. You're getting up to do your job as a musician, as an artist, as a filmmaker. Okay, it's a job. Okay, it's film business. So it's the faster you understand that it's the business and not an art. Okay, is when you become successful at it. Okay, so it's on ancillary revenue generation. Okay, yeah. Ancillary revenue generation. Okay, now this is we are in new times, man. We are in completely new times. Okay, from somebody who's out in film in Hollywood, Hollywood is going the way of the silent film right now. Okay, if they don't sit there and adapt, they're gonna lose. Okay, same thing when it comes to music. Same thing when it comes to art. When I was first in college, I was going to be a photographer. I was going to do photography. Okay, then they start going to digital imaging with computers. And I'm a darkroom photographer. I'm not going to do this. So I was like, so I ended up changing my major. And then of course it worked out. And I'm going into film, but it's times are going to change, and if you're not growing, you're dying. Okay, just point blank. So You need to find out new ways to generate revenue that are going to be in the new technology world, uh, specifically in areas that maybe others aren't showing up. Okay, that where you have less competition in. Going to a bar to play, everybody's vying for that bar, but maybe there's some other place to go do that somebody hasn't thought about. It's maybe you have some. I don't even know what it costs to do it, but maybe you have some type of thing at one of the theaters who right now they can't fill the freaking seats. So you get something going out there, and you have a music venue that has something playing on the screen while people perform inside the movie theater. The theater will rent you that spot. You sell tickets. You get other musicians come out. That's nothing too. Yes, you're a musician. Maybe you can also do a little bit of booking. Collect your 10 to 15% off other musicians. Okay, you've got the network. You're going out and meeting all these people. Maybe you should sit there and make money for your connections. Okay, so it's like go out there. You can still perform there, but in the meantime, I'm also this the owner likes you. I'm like, dude, you got. Do you know any other artists? As a matter of fact, I do. So you start booking some other artists there. Take 10%. Take your 10%, man. I mean, it's like if you're making 10% off 25 freaking artists every night of the week, that's a better living than what you're making now. I mean, it's like an agent makes 10%. It's regulated by law. An agent makes 10% regulated by law. And let me tell you, they're all millionaires. It's just why? Because and it's also in their interest to raise your pay. So I mean, the higher they raise your pay, it's like the more they get paid. Okay, so make them work for you. Okay, I think I'd put out a deal before on that group where I was talking about the different areas of representation. Learn this. Okay, you've got a booking agent, you got a talent agent, you got a manager, you got an attorney, you've got a PR, a publicist. Learn these positions. Okay, it's like this is here to make your career bigger. Okay, now whenever, let's say you take Angelina Jolie, gets 20 million a film. Does she make 20 million? No, she doesn't at all. She makes maybe okay. Why? Because she gave 10% to her agent, she gave 15% to her manager, she gave 5% to her attorney, gave 5% to her publicist. It's like you give away all these percentages, but she got to 20 million a movie because they wanted to make more money. Okay, so it's like don't think about what you're giving to somebody, it's what can they do for you. So learn those positions, try to find somebody. If a manager ever wants to have you pay a monthly fee, right there. Okay, anybody who's going to take a monthly fee and not a percentage is not going to work for you. They're just going to take your money. Okay, period. Okay, so you give me 500 a month and I'll go do all this stuff for you. He'll get 10 freaking artists doing it and make $5,000 a month. No, make them work for it. You get a percentage of whatever you get me. Why? Because now it's in his interest or her interest to get you more money. Why? Because it's bigger to their paycheck. Make them work for you. Okay. Now, for let's say ancillary revenue generation for a musician. Okay. We've got Twitch. We've got YouTube. We've got TikTok. We got Instagram. It's like just in the social media aspect of that, there is serious money to be made there. Because now you go off with your brand that you've been marketing. You get on TikTok and you keep it to either a single song or 1 minute to 1.5 minutes. You keep it short. Why? Because we got short fucking attention spans. Okay, it's like nobody even watches full length features anymore. This is like I'm just gonna go through my phone like this. When I look at the analytics of my site, okay, on what people do, a little over 70% watch stuff through their phone. They're not even on a computer. They're not on their TV. They're not on the laptop, iPad. They're on their phone watching stuff on your phone. I mean, dude, no wonder we're going blind. Yeah, but but understand uh, where your distribution is going out to, where your exposure is going out to, and attack that exposure. Okay, for as a musician, okay, or even as an artist, but as a musician, create a TikTok and make it to where every certain day at this time. But I'm saying, but every certain day at this time, people can expect something new to come out from you, whether it be a live stream. Maybe you're sitting down when you're doing your music writing, and you're shooting the shit while somebody can see the process of you writing a song and what you're going through. Okay, and just talk about what's going through your head. It's amazing how many people. Does anybody here listen to Joe Rogan for 3 freaking hours? Yeah, 3 hours. I'm like, dude. And the next thing I'm like, oh man, I wonder what else they're gonna talk about. Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm listening to stuff. I'm going, oh man, come on, talk about the UFOs. I mean, just stupid stuff. What's that? Oh, dude, I'm telling you, yeah, next month. No, but no, it's we've gone more to that aspect. But we want to sit there and listen to other people discuss things. Maybe you have a writer's little thing you do where you're sitting down and talking to another person. 'Cause now you got a conversation going between two people. Now people are just going to sit back and listen to what you guys talk about. It's crazy the fly on the wall aspect of what people will do. So just think outside the box on those things. YouTube, okay? Maybe you sit there and you put your song out, or even have a behind the scenes of your song. Maybe you have just the behind the scenes on what, and then at the end of it, you show the song that came about. Okay, just do things, but keep it short, keep it small, and that people can watch in a short period of time. Art, okay. On art, okay, you got digital. The artists we have in here right now, I specifically said something, but nobody ever listens to me. Okay, Prince, do Prince. Okay, there is more money. Okay, how have you guys ever when it came to cash? Have you ever had $100 bill and a $20 bill, and you didn't want to break the 100, but you'll break the 20 no problem? It's still the same value what's in the money, but you'll break that 20 in a heartbeat. I may not spend $500 on a painting, but I'll buy that print for 45. You know what I'm saying? It sounds silly. So I mean, it's like, okay, now I just sold 10 prints. I'm almost up to the selling the painting. But also, as the demand of those prints goes up, so does the value of that painting. Because now somebody can buy the original. Don't put the original price on that thing now at 500 bucks. See how many of those the prints are going out, because now it's increasing the value of what the painting is. You know what? I've sold 125 of these prints. They're all gone. It's very popular, but I can say the original painting. It's just going to cost you more money. Okay, that's you just increase your value. Valuation. It all works together. Yeah. It says trays. You see it? So we're running a shop at the same time. Okay. But it's so think of areas of where you can get your art put on. Okay. Sell like I said, sell other things too. Sell prints. Sell handbags that have a piece of your art printed on them or something. It's like have like have a sheet that when you, let's say you're doing a showing of somebody with a QR code that somebody can just donate to the artist. They don't have to buy your art, but they can just donate to you. You can probably get a ton of $10 donations, but make it simple too. Don't make them type it in. Just, hey, $10 donate for this. Goes right to it. $10. You know what I'm saying? Just make it simple, as easy as possible. One thing we just recently did here too, if you notice on your tables, before I had up here when it has the Indies coffee and bar and speakeasy, and down here I used to have tip the artist. Okay, so people could get their phone and tip the artist. We had some that would tip the artist, but you know what though? It's by having that on the table, now they don't have to get up. They can do it right there at the table and hit it. We're doing it trying to make it easy as possible. If you ever want to get rich, find a way to make people lazier. Okay, it's the best way. So, but think outside the box on things to generate revenue. Now, and don't worry, we don't take any of that money. It all goes to the artist. So, but you go with QR codes. Even on, let's say, from an artist standpoint, same thing with a TikTok or YouTube or whatever. Have them. In fact, if you can ever do a live, okay, it's like people will if you're doing a live, it has to be at the same time on the same day always, so people can set their schedules to it. Okay, don't just have it periodically, like whenever it is. We have our concerts on Friday and Saturday. They always start at 8. Why? It's because people know at 8 I'm going to live stream the concert here, so they can already know what's coming. If you're going to have a certain discussion or you're always working for your art, it's always going to be Tuesday at 7 o'clock, or what? Tuesday at 7. People get, they'll say, okay, well at 7 o'clock we have the new one coming out. I can't wait to see what she's talking about this time. Okay, create it to where you get a schedule on people. They can always go back and look at the recorded stuff later, but when you're live, in fact, on that part of it needs to own the recording where people watch the recording. They need to be able to miss part of it. Okay, like it's like the only time you get this other part, okay, is if you're a subscriber, you give them extra stuff, or if you watch it live, you got an extra part of this conversation because you watched me live. Okay, give them something. Okay, um, but yeah, just think outside the box. Everybody generally tries to follow people. Don't ever be a follower. Okay, don't be a follower. Be a leader. Okay, It's I learned when I was 19 years old. I learned how to say I don't give a shit. Okay, it's the best thing I ever did in my life. I don't care what you think about me. I just don't care. Okay. Now it's by doing that though, everybody cares about you. Why? Because you're now real. You're not trying to be something you're not. You're real. So get outside of that box. Don't conform to what society thinks you should do, and you'll come in and you'll be what I've been called lately. Okay, you'll be a disruptor. Okay, go be a disruptor, man. It's like you'll sit there and do well. Do you guys have any questions on anything I've talked about so far? Or you all good? Or yeah, or anything you like to poke, prod, whatever. I don't care. Anything? Hmm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. 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 Well, it's the only problem with that. She's asking, is there a way on setting price points? It's easier to bring the price down, the price to go up. There's one of the problems is people always try to negotiate down. They'll always try to negotiate down. They'll never go. You know what? No, I want to pay you more money. Okay, that never happens. Okay, but if you didn't have a price on it, somebody might be willing to pay you more than what you're asking. Okay, so a lot of times if somebody's wanting to purchase the art, the way I'd even start off, well, what's this piece worth to you? You don't have to sell it. You know what I'm saying? Well, we do on some of these. No, 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 we do. But let me just tell you right now. It's well, at the gallery, I wouldn't put a price on the painting. Make that gallery owner work for you. They need to sell it, so they need their commission. Okay, but by that gallery owner should be able to talking that price up. Is it what going to take 40%? Okay, so yeah, make them talk that price up so their pay goes up. Yeah, well, I wouldn't want to go up to a painting like right now. She has you know prices on these paintings. 90% of the time, when somebody sees the price, it's not worth it to me, and they walk away. They don't even take time to appreciate it. Okay, now we've sold some of her paintings, so I'm not saying that. We've sold some of her paintings, but to the person, like we did sell one of her paintings too. It didn't have a price on it. The guy came in. I just told him what the price was. He paid it like that, no problem. Okay, so it was worth that to him. Now we've had some over there that the price was on that people they go absolutely not. Okay, well that price wasn't worth that to you, but now she just lost out on selling that piece of art. What if it would have been? I'm pulling out my ass. Let's say the piece of art was $200. Okay, to them it's worth 150. Okay, she just missed $150 on a piece of art that, with her time, paint, and canvas, probably cost her $65. I'm just saying. Okay, so now it's back to what we are talking about in the beginning of valuations. Now it's a loss. Okay, sometimes you need to get that out there, even if it's selling $150, so that people can learn your stuff and see it and get admired by somebody else that now networks into somebody else that networks into somebody else. Okay, the painting with the gold frame back there. I'm gonna tell her, even though she doesn't like it. Okay, that's a Todd Krasovitz. Okay, the story I've told some of you guys a story, some of you haven't. I used to live in Dallas a long time ago, and I saw yeah, yeah, but lived in Dallas, and I had this painting by him that I think I bought it for about $1,800. Is what I bought it for. And people come to my house. I like art. Okay, so we have a lot of art at my house, sculptures, things like that. And they'd walk in, and they go, "Oh man, I really like that." I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's Todd Krasovitz. He's a artist." "Oh, can you get me one?" "Sure." So I talked to Todd. He'd paint something up. I'd sell it for about 25 to 2,700 bucks. Is what I'd sell it for. Okay, I'd make money on top of that. Value of his paintings went up. They didn't go down. Okay, but it's like us, selling more and more. Then we had a falling out because he was being a dumbass. But but anyway, the thing is that people saw the worth in it, and it networked out. Because I was saying, by somebody seeing it in my house, they wanted it. So when somebody gets your art at their house, maybe somebody else comes over and sees it. So sometimes it's not about the immediate return on your investment; it's about the long term growth of your investment. Now, all his paintings, you can go look him up online. All his paintings go for $17,000 to $32,000. Okay, he has grown it. He's got a gallery in San Diego now, and he has grown his art up. But it started off down here. Okay, but he's been a hustler. He's been a hustler. He was just a dumbass. Okay, so he's a good guy. I'm not gonna tell you, he's a good guy. He just did something really stupid. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Are you talking about for like getting out there for to reach the audience, to reach the correct audience for the for actual like oil or acrylic paintings, things like for the substance? Okay, there's a lot of stuff you can do. You can make a lot of money with digital too. Oh, sorry, it's a habit of communication thing I just talked. Okay, so her thing is say it one more time about how to reach. Okay, it's how to reach the right audience as it with visual painting. So like when you have the actual canvas paint, paper paint, whichever acrylic oil, how do you reach the right audience? Okay, part of that is okay. You also have to reach a certain monetary social standing for people who have liquid money like that. Okay, because a lot of people we're in a tight economy. Okay, there's a lot of I'm pretty sure the art world is feeling it right now because art is not a short term investment; it's a long term thing, and it's I've never bought my art personally for to resell it. I've bought it because I like something, you know. That's so, but on how to reach that market, dude, you got to start going to the cocktail parties. You got to go to the socioeconomic standing of where and the things. There's a lot of rubbing elbows in art, okay, in film, music, art, all that. You got to get out the house. I'm just telling you, you got to get out the house. You got to spend, even if it's like saying we were talking earlier about a schedule. Okay, hey, on Monday, I'm going to follow up between let's say 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. I'm going to follow up with my contacts that I made this past weekend just to touch base with them while I'm fresh in their mind. Okay, so that's the time you've marked off for doing that. Okay, I've got my lunch open. Maybe I can sit there and see if there's somebody that is a gallery owner that'd like to take to lunch or whatever. Okay, I'm just saying, but you get organized on it. For your Friday, Saturday, okay, get involved with the local film commission. Get involved with the freaking the music scene. Get involved with the art scene, with the fashion scene. Okay, a lot of people always forget about fashion, but that's a big freaking socialite scene. Get involved with it. Find out what's going on. You can go look in the paper. You can look in the city stuff. It'll tell you different events and conventions that are going on. Go rub elbows. Go rub elbows. It's like I mean it's eventually you'll get a big bullshit detector when you know somebody's wasting your freaking time. Okay, in the beginning, just have your guard up a little bit. Okay, there's a lot of predators out there. Just have your guard up. Okay, especially film industry, man. Film and music. Oh my god, music's got a. I've seen so many old fat dudes with freaking gold jackets and rings acting like they're the freaking guys. Oh yeah, it's yeah, it's funny. Yeah, like for well, on that would just be getting into some type of I would get on the different maybe X, Facebook groups, maybe Instagram, but getting into like the art groups. Okay, because when you get into art groups, you're getting to ones that are also there for the same reason to appreciate art, to like art. Put yourself in the middle of it. Okay, where they're at is how I would look at doing something like that. The social media and stuff makes it easier to reach people in a faster way. Um, like I said, I'm pretty sure you get a lot of predators on there as well. So just be careful with that. But it'll also find if there's anything local. Is there local groups on Facebook about art groups local? Find out what's going on. Eventbrite. Is there something in Eventbrite? Okay, I mean I'm just saying there's a bunch of stuff out there. We are more connected now than we've ever been. Okay, and I really sometimes wish we wasn't. Okay, but no, but the opportunities are out there. You just have to think about what are the big social gathering things. Like I said, Eventbrite's big. My sister does that. Okay, like oh, we're going on this trip to the museum or whatever, and they all meet up as a group to go there. Now you're in a group of people with like interests. Okay, and network. Don't okay. The key like, on networking a little bit. Don't be there for something. Okay, don't be a taker. Okay, when I said about for networking. Um, if you're there and you solely just want to use somebody, it's going to come out. Okay, just network, just talk with people, get to know them. Don't ask for anything. Hey, chill, slow it down, just relax. Get into their circle. Okay, get in the circle. This is something that happens over time. Okay, musicians can do the same thing. Okay, because like now you're in this circle. There's gonna be a gallery showing somewhere, and somebody wants to have a live artist. Boom, you just got a gig. Okay, so now you're booked for another day. Okay, well this is a high end place in Houston, and these all these people are like multimillionaires. They're gonna be at this thing. You know what? What's your thing? Okay, how many hours is it? Oh, it's for this. Okay, I'll do that gig for $500, $600. Okay, well let me see. Well, I mean, just get back with me. Let me know if I can see if I have anything that day. Just work it out, but don't act like you're just like too hungry. You know what I'm saying? But find stuff. Get into things that can raise your value too. Um, we're doing like I have a thing right now. We're doing with Chris Hardy. But I'm not going to get into the money, but he's like he want to get to a certain price on what he gets for his originals. I go, you know what? I go, if we do this and we handle the door and the ticket sales like this, and we handle this much seating and we do here, we're practically there. Okay, well, yeah, it's just how we as artists and venue. I'm here to make sure that you're successful. If you're successful, I'm successful because people want to see you. Okay, it's like it is not in my interest to ignore the shit out of you. I promise you. Okay, it's like I want to build all you guys up. It only helps me out. Okay, the bigger you are, the more money I make. Okay, period. Okay, so if you go to if there's a venue that's never wanting to pay you, okay, they're just wanting you to just play, hey, just come play, whatever. Drop that shit. Okay, I'm not. I just drop it. It's not beneficial to your career. It's not really going to give you exposure like we were talking about with the open mics. When you have too many going on, we're starting to see a dwindling of how many people are even going. Okay, why? It's oversaturated. There's too many. Okay, so it's diminishing the value of it because it's too saturated. Same thing. If you're popping up everywhere, okay, you're oversaturated. Okay, so that's why I always say sometimes distance makes the heart grow fonder. Things like that. It's a stupid little cheesy line, but hey, it works. Um, but yeah, it's like we want you to be successful. Any true venue, gallery owner, whatever, should want you to be successful. The more successful you are, the more money we make. Okay, so I mean it's a it's how it is. So yeah. Mhm. I tell you, it's no, okay. Is there a pathway from going from like a cover artist into making money with originals? Because the artist still has to be able to put food on the table, pay the rent, and so forth. Which I know we've had this conversation, and I understand and I agree. Um, too many venues these days want covers. Okay, they want background music, have some covers, sing their stuff. You always got the drunk person come, hey, play me some Jimmy Buffett or whatever. Okay, now the pathway between those. Okay, I was talking with another professional musician, and he pointed something out to me that I can actually learn from. Is that every once in a while, even when he's doing covers, he'll work one of his songs in or a couple of his songs in and stuff, and he'd do that so people would start to hear some of the original music. Well, it's like eventually people start wanting to hear that original music again. So now your portfolio starts getting bigger. Now you're playing less and less covers. Now you need to be able to branch out and find the right venues that are going like how I am. It's like I want original music here. I don't give two craps about covers. So you need to find more venues like that. You need to be able to brand, market, and have a following. Brand, market, have a following. You have a question? Or are you sure? Go ahead. Well, that likes covers or likes. Oh, yeah, everybody likes covers. Okay, I know it's well here on the island. It's us and Old Quarter. We're really the two venues on the island. Okay, everybody else. I'm not discounting people. I'm not saying that. Okay, but I'm saying the two venues where people come to sing their original music is us and Old Quarter. You obviously got Scout Bar. You got some in Houston. Okay, that's if you can get on opening up for somebody at Warehouse Live or Stereo Live or something like that. I mean, there are other places that will do that. Now those get to be a little bit in the bigger venues. Okay, which is a little harder. What's that? Yeah, you got House of Blues, but I mean they already had shut down half of it. Yeah, they already shut down half of it. The whole restaurant got shut down. So they still do some stuff there. Yeah, yeah. Um, a lot of that stuff. What's that? Yeah. And now I tell you, I don't know. She was basically saying how old quarters only gonna book somebody who's up at a certain level and so forth. Um, do they? I'm not totally familiar with everything old quarter does. Do they ever have openers? Oh, they I think they do once a year or once a month. I think. What's that? Yeah, I think it's is it the first Wednesday or something like that? Yeah, yeah, and they second Wednesday. Yeah, I knew it was a certain Wednesday of the month, but it's yeah. And then do they have an approved list on yeah on that for the 12? Okay, no, that's what I was checking. Some because I used to have like a not so open mic here, but the only issue I had with that is a lot of times went against it competed against paying gigs. So the good artists are getting paid to play. So getting them to come out for an open mic is really hard. So it's but we I was trying to keep. I'm very particular about who gets on this stage. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that when you want to go out, you know, hey, Indies has quality stuff. That's what is important to me more than anything else. So I just wasn't sure if Old Quarter did something like that, or if they ever had openers or something. But I'm not real sure on that. Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. Well, I'd say that we're kind of the same on that. We're kind of the same on that. It's like I might allow one or two covers in there, but it's like I generally, if somebody, I have people say, I've got an hour of original. I'm like, okay, I might. I go. In fact, I did have this the other day, and the person's okay with it. I go, okay, are you okay opening for somebody? Because if you got an hour of originals, I can have you open for somebody who's got an hour and a half, 2 hours of originals. You know what I'm saying? So that's and they're like, they go, absolutely, great. There you go. I'll have you open on like a Friday or Saturday night for somebody. Yeah. So now that's how you get your in. So if you're building up your song portfolio, maybe do it that way. Hey, I've got about an hour of originals. Do you ever hire openers or something on that line? Which sometimes there's some artists that don't want to have openers and stuff, which can get into that ego stuff every once in a while. Um, Other than that, just try to find places. If you're networking, communicating between the artists, a lot of times if the you guys are a cool close family. You know, all the I've noticed the musicians and artists, most of them are not very competitive. Film was very competitive. Film was very competitive. They didn't want to help anybody out. Okay, so it's a very small family. But like I've noticed the musicians and like artists, you guys are like little collaborative families and stuff that really help each other out. So yeah, yeah, no, but yeah, but so, there you go. So yeah, but so get with your colleagues and stuff and find out, do they know of any place? Okay, and then just reach out and talk to them. The only true no you will ever get is to not ask. Okay, that's the only true no you'll ever get. Oh, I don't know, man. It's in fact, you guys ever notice like except for me because I'm super hot. You guys ever notice that the ugly guy gets the hot girl? Okay, why? Because he had nothing to lose. He went up and asked her out. The good looking guy was like, I didn't want to get turned down. You know, so yeah, 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 yeah. And then hey, yeah, I just want to know, would you like to go for a free meal with a friend? I'm paying for it. Yeah, no, but still, it's so just try to branch out, network with your peers and stuff. Reach out to the venues, ask them. Like I said, worst thing they say no. I had a situation recently. Okay, I'm not going to also, but I had a situation recently. I had one freaking booking for all of September. One freaking booking. Okay, unacceptable. I can't do that. I'm running a business. I can't do that. So what did I do? Okay, well, I heard another booker. I got on there and I went back to all the emails of anybody who ever started contacting me saying, hey, do you have any availability here in September? Okay. Maybe it's not the best choice of what I was going to have, but I'm filling a spot. So it's like, just reach out, make contact, get in their Rolodex, man. You never know. At some point, they're going to call you back. I promise you. Unless you're just freaking annoying. They're going to, oh, yep. Hmm. I tell you what, I have a very beautiful wife that's our social media person. And I'm starting in social media. It was taking a little bit to get going. Don't worry, I go. It's gonna grow exponentially. You just have to put in the time. And what it did, I don't remember at what point you got to, but it just freaking went off. I mean, so she went from like 5,000 followers to 34,000 followers, like that, because now you become those networks. So what I'd say, if you want to grow that is, and she was asking about how to. Sorry, I forgot to say my question. How to grow your initial following base. Okay, a lot of it's going to be is hitting as many places as you possibly can. Facebook, Instagram, now YouTube, TikTok. As much as you hate TikTok, everybody's everybody's on freaking TikTok, man. It's let me talk about money for a second. Okay, so you have the younger generation, you got the middle generation, you got the old generation. As you get older in life, you start to really watch where you're spending your money. Why? Because you have less time left in your life to make it. When you're in your 20s, you don't give a shit. Okay, you're gonna sit there and you're gonna spend money. You're gonna go off. You're gonna go. Why? Because I got the rest of my life to make all this money. Okay, TikTok and YouTube is where the younger generation is. If you want that money that they will spend, like subscribing, 99 cents here, a dollar there, whatever, that generation is giving you money. Grandma ain't giving you shit. She's giving you a quarter, thinking it goes a long way. Okay, so it's focus on the up and coming generation and really understand where they're spending their money and how they're spending their money. If you understand that, you're going to get that money. So, what's your question with TikTok? Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. Well, let me, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, let me just ask you this. Okay, who are you? No, 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 no. But no, I'm not meaning it in a negative way. I'm not meaning, but what I'm saying is, everybody gets so caught into of like they're gonna steal all my shit. Okay, I watched that out in Hollywood so much where people wouldn't give something out because they were sure you were gonna steal it. Okay, I had when I worked at CAA, I had a phone call come in one time, and it was a guy who was pitching us a reality show on building out a bar. Okay, that's what the specific was. He goes, "I got this original thing, man." He goes, "I'm gonna sit there. It's gonna be a reality show. It's gonna be this many seasons, episodes in a season. We're gonna sit there and we're gonna build out a bar, and they can follow it." And I started laughing. He goes, "What's so funny?" I go, "I heard that 3 times last week." You think your shit's original, okay? But I'm saying, but what I'm talking about is you're going to forego making money on one thing because you're worried about keystrokes and people stealing stuff, whatever. No, it is one of the number one is one of the number one social media money makers right now. Okay, I'm just telling you, it's like one of the number one. The more as a artist musician, the more exposure you have, the more name you have, the more you're worth. Okay, there are people who are millionaires off TikTok because people watch their shit. Okay, I'm just it's dumb, but as a okay, let me talk as a business. So back into marketing. Okay, I want people to know who the hell, dude. To promote music. Hey, Bill, I can't talk right now. Okay, bye. If I haven't answered your text yet, I can't call you. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I thought I had my phone on like do not disturb because he's in my phone. But the thing is, okay, this goes back to what I was talking about with brand and marketing. Okay, you go out there, these people, I don't understand the whole influencer thing. I don't. I think they're a bunch of dumbasses. Okay, I just do. I'm like, I look at some of the stupid shit they do, and then they're driving off in their Ferrari. I'm like, what the hell? Dude, I remember I was over at BMW. It's up here in Clear Lake. I was over at BMW, and this I'm gonna tell you, this chode comes in, freaking like okay, I'm all big time. He had his guys around him wearing these stupid freaking sunglasses, okay, like they're his homies and shit. And I'm like, this guy's a retard. Sorry, don't mean to. Okay, I'm bringing it back. This guy's freaking stupid. Okay, I couldn't understand like what is the thing. And what he did, he came and he bought a was a used Range Rover, used Range Rover cash. And I was talking to this girl that was there. She goes, "Oh my God, that's so and so. That's so and so." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And so and so. "Oh yeah, they're really big on TikTok." What? This guy goes on. I looked at some of the stuff. It is the dumbest shit you've ever seen. But people are like, okay. So what I'm saying is, it's like, does TikTok make money? Yes, it makes money. The guy bought a Range Rover cash. So okay, so I'm just saying it's there. Don't get so scared of somebody recording, scaring whatever things that you. Oh, okay. Um, yeah, I know. I understand. Okay. There was a time. There was a time. Back in the late '90s, there was a thing called Napster. Okay. Okay. So I'm out in LA at the time. They had their office right there off Santa Monica Boulevard, and Sony was scared shitless. Okay, because of Napster. Why? Because dude, people could sit there and like download their music, and they never jumped on that stuff. What happened? Records went away. Well, for the most part. Okay, CDs are kind of gone, so forth. It's like, and everybody streams stuff now. Somebody came on and learned how to monetize that. Okay, so it's like, don't get so stuck in a rut of thinking like, oh, I don't want somebody to sell my stuff. Figure out how to monetize it. Figure out how to make money of it now. Make all the money you can right now off of it. Why? Because in like 4 years, it'll be something else. It won't be TikTok anymore. It'll be something else. You just have to always be ahead of the game. Right now, I'm messing with AI. Now, I was talking to some filmmakers. What was that, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that? And they were trying to bring in to produce something, and I talked about AI, and they're like, "Oh God, oh no, AI, AI, AI." I'm like, I go, stop. I go, whether you like it or not, AI's here. Okay, it's not going anywhere. It's only going to be. You need to get on the train, or it's going to leave you behind. And I started this off when I said that Hollywood is going the way of the silent film. If you don't sit there and get on this board, it's going to leave you. So when it comes to TikTok, things like that, it is a revenue generating area that you can take advantage of right now. Okay, take advantage of it while it's there. Okay, and then they're going to have something else. It used to be called what, MySpace. Okay, MySpace was huge. Then became Facebook. Now Facebook's for grandma. Okay, it's like, unless there's some levels of it. Well, well, Paw, I mean, it's just, but still, but I'm like, it's it now. I will say, Facebook is really good for local stuff. It's really good for local things. But other than that, it's like the younger generation ain't on that shit. They're on TikTok. They're on Instagram. In fact, when people come in and ask social media, they're not asking me, "Hey, are you on Facebook?" No, they go, "Hey, are you on Instagram?" Same company, but it's a different thing they're doing. So it's like, figure out how to monetize it, capitalize on it while it's here, and pay it, and always be paying attention to what's coming next, because the more you are ahead of the game, the more you're going to be poised to be able to monopolize on it and stuff. So that help? Okay, cool. Anything else? Anything else? Nothing? Anything? No? Cool. Yeah. 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 Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And I tell you what, yeah, she was saying she was in Bucky's the other day. Bucky's, for people who aren't in Texas. Okay, it's a really big, it's a really nice truck stop that people stop to go to the bathroom in because they're freaking clean. Okay, it's kind of crazy to say that, but that there was a musician that was playing inside Bucky's. The one thing I will give that person, they got maximum exposure to a maximum amount of people playing at Bucky's. Okay, because why? You're telling me about it right now. How many other people are talking about it? Okay, it's not always about the short time gain. Sometimes about the long time. Playing the long game on things. Um, I mean, there's a lot of stuff I could do with this place right now. I get the short time gain. I could say, oh, you know what? We're gonna start selling Milwaukee's best. I'm gonna have like $2 Tuesdays. I'm gonna do all this kind of stuff. I would get the wrong crowd in here. You are completely not allowed here anymore. No, no, no. It's like, oh, Milwaukee. Yeah, no, but still, but it's there's things I could always do here that's gonna make me more money right now, but I'm playing the long game. It's like I have a certain concept I'm building. I'm sticking with just that concept, and by doing that, the people that want that concept will show up. Okay, so same thing. Create your brand, market your brand, okay? Figure out ancillary areas you can hit to make money, revenue generating in that brand. I go, and you will find the people looking for that brand, okay? Don't worry about capturing everybody. Capture your market, okay? That's what you always hear like people say in business: capture your market. Not capture every freaking market on the planet. That's a waste of time. Just capture your market, okay? Anyway, thanks. I'm gonna be having more of these things where I try to help you guys out, try to be information stuff. If you have any other questions, come grab me, come ask me, and I'm more than happy to help you guys out any way I possibly can. Okay? Thank you. Okay. Hey, I thought of a thought that I didn't finish earlier. That he just made me think of, and where I was talking about on marketing and how the having the exposure and the traffic is more important sometimes than the dollar. Okay. So what I mean by that is okay, if you're building up your following, like you're talking about, your following is worth more than anything else. Because, like, at me as a venue, if I want to sit there and put out marketing so people know I exist, I go, where am I spending my ad money? Okay, where am I spending my ad money? I started doing AI because when I was going to go back on the radio, it was going to cost me at least $1,500 a month to go back on the radio. That hopefully at a certain time somebody's listening to it when the commercial came on, talking about my stuff, and you're interested in what I'm selling. That's not a good ROI anymore. Okay, the terrestrial radio is going to buy, TV's going by. Okay, so instead, I'm doing AI. I spend 35 bucks a month. I got a commercial license. I can make commercials, put them out there, and get and promote them on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, and I can get traffic that hits my audience that I'm trying to do. That will always be there. So you sometimes generating traffic and exposure is more important than the money. Yes. Okay, okay, okay. When I'm talking about me as a venue, okay. So I'll put out stuff that's like when I put out a things. We just had a new roast come out. Okay, so I put out this little thing. It's like a little skit because we're entertainment based. I made it look like a little mini movie. Okay, so I do that. Why? Because people think it's cool. It gets shared. Okay, so but yeah, I did it in AI in like 4 hours. No, we didn't put it on Facebook. I I got advised. I got advised not to put it on Facebook. Yeah, because there's a part where a guy lifts a gun, and then, and then he goes, as a friend, I would tell you don't do it with a gun. I'm like, why? It's the government going. It's conspiracy theory is the name of the coffee. So it's the government agents chasing down the person that's discovered the conspiracies are real. Okay, so but like I'm like okay, dude, can we just go back to having like I don't know. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's like Arnold Schwarzenegger would be a pussy today. Sorry, just I'm gonna get you with a baton. so, so I mean, but it's so I didn't put it on Facebook. It's out there. I know we put it out somewhere. I think it's on YouTube. It's on YouTube, but yeah, I didn't. Yeah, well, that oh that or they put M and M's instead of Reese's Pieces. No, no, I'm just kidding. Oh, marketing, yeah, yeah. Well, I think the big one with the gun part happened with Columbine. I think that was the big turning point when it came to guns was Columbine. But it's well that and social media. The only reason I say that is because before when I was growing up back in my day, okay, we had 5 channels. That's all you had. Okay. Now it's you got so much exposure everywhere. That's like that you have everybody vying for their 10, 15 seconds, and they're going out there and shooting places up just in hopes that. How many times do you see there's a big ass fight and somebody just goes, "I'm gonna record it." I mean, I'm like, dude, how about stop the person from getting their ass kicked? Yo, yeah, that's I'm like, it's like this is dumb. That's just how we become as a people now, which I think is stupid and very self centered. But yeah, the thing is though, is that by creating traffic, um, you can let's say on your if you have a YouTube and you create traffic, you can now get ad space. The more traffic you have, the more exposure you have. This goes back to the TikTok thing. The more exposure you have, the more that ad money is worth. Okay, so if somebody wants to advertise on your spot, it's going to cost them a whole lot more money to be on your thing. Okay, so that's the. Well, I didn't say you had to like it. I'm just saying that's the way it is. Yeah, yeah. Oh no, well but that goes back to what I was saying. Make a schedule. Make a schedule. Between this time and this time is when I do this. Um, love my wife to death. Okay, but okay. I told her I go. You need to post and ghost. Just post and ghost. Have certain times you go do it because if not, it will suck you in, man. You'll be stuck on social media all day. And then you get caught up in everybody's bullshit. Now you're all irritated. You're like, I can't believe so and so said this, and I'm like, now you're irritated. Go out there, have something to say, post and ghost. Just say it. You put out your music video, put up your piece of art, whatever. But in fact, I'd even say too, on a lot of the art stuff, I don't necessarily know I would get involved with comments, man. I don't because there's too many assholes. Okay, and just when it comes to music, when it comes to art, anything like that, too many critics. It's like post it and ghost it. Just post and ghost. Let people create discussion off of it. But it's like, dude, you don't need to be hearing what everybody has to say about your stuff. If you do, you're getting a little too egotistical about it. You want to have that you want to have that dopamine rush of somebody saying how great you are. Another story. Okay, when I was at the Creative Arts Agency, this the biggest talent agency in the world. Uh, I'm gonna mention a name here. There's a guy Jeff Blevins, and he had brought me this screenplay to. He goes, hey, can you take a look at my screenplay and so forth? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm honest. Great, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, cool. And you can ask some of the musicians. I'm pretty blunt when I talk to people. So I came back and he goes, "What do you think?" Man, it had a really good story. The flow was nice. I go, this here. I go, like the characters. I think this one character need to be developed out just a little bit more. Oh, really? Then why so and so looking to play it? Well, man, I'm just trying to just tell you. I just think it needs to be developed a little bit more. People don't necessarily want you to give them any type of I won't say constructive criticism. Nobody wants an asshole, but nobody wants to. But they don't want constructive criticism either. They want you to stroke their ego and tell them how great they are and they got a future ahead of themselves. Okay, I'm like, no, that's not how you get better. You don't get better. I think we talked about this last night. I think didn't we? Yeah, that's not how you get better. You have to first off grow a thick skin. Okay, don't take everything to heart. Okay, it's not that people don't like you or anything like that. Sometimes you're going to find out people are going to criticize your shit because of what they haven't done. Okay, they're gonna. It's like you know what? I'm going to beat you down because I can't have you better than me. And this is real big in the art community, real big in music and film. They'll want to beat you down because it's like if you succeed, it's their failure. Okay, drop those people. They're like a cancer, man. Drop those people. Okay, but don't go for the ego. Go for somebody who can literally give you constructive criticism on that's true. Now, you don't have to. I would say people talk shit to me all the time. It's mainly my wife, but it's like it's I don't have to take anything straight to heart. I can listen to what you have to say, and sometimes I might go, oh, you know what? They're right. That's actually a better way to do it. Okay, we had talked about the open mic stuff like that, where you're like, oh, it's about community. Okay, okay, I got that part. Okay, I got the community part, but there's a point where you can go too far with it. But then I was very much having cover artists, whatever. It was Jordan Tidings. Okay, so who was? And he goes, I gotta disagree with you. I'm like, okay, now you're gonna tell your point. He goes, I'm doing covers. I can also work in some of my stuff. Then people come up and they ask me about this. He's changed my view on it because I'm going, I never thought about it in that aspect. I just didn't want cover artists in here. I want original artists in here. Okay. But I'm like going, oh, I didn't think about it that way. You work, but somebody exposed me to something else that I didn't think about. So what did I do? I changed my opinion on it. I'm still not going to have cover artists in here, but it changed my opinion on why people go and do covers. So I mean, it's each their own, man. But always be a student, always be learning. You can always develop and stuff. Grow thick skin and just ignore the bullshit, man. Ignore the bullshit. Please don't say she brought up a good point. Okay, I'll never hear the end of it. Okay, how to approach bookings for venues. Okay, so on that, okay, like people, we've gotten kind of known now. I don't know how your network works, but evidently your network, the music network, is I got people calling me from Austin, Mississippi, Florida, all over the place. So they're like, "Oh yeah, I heard about indies and I got to play there." I'm like, "Okay, But I say you can call. Who do I need to speak with to talk about getting a booking at your venue? Okay, just ask. Okay. Oh, like when they ask me, I go, hey, send an email over to bookings. I go, but tell me, send the links to your Spotify, Amazon, whatever you have. Give me if you have a video to YouTube, whatever, and tell me what rates you are looking for, how many hours you do. Do you have originals? Do you have covers? Whatever. Give me as much information as you can. Okay. Now this is where you go. Yeah, but he might have been willing to pay me more than what I was before. Well, right now you have a going rate. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have a going rate. I've had ones that contacted me. They go, well, I generally get $500 for 2 hours. Well, generally I don't know you. Okay, I've got 48 seats in here. That's all I can say is 48. So it's like now I have paid a band a lot of money to play here. Like I'll even tell you, I paid them $1,000 to play here, and a hotel room. That's what I paid them. Okay, I knew I was losing money. I knew it. Okay, but I wanted that band here. Okay, so because I was establishing who plays at Indies Coffee, so I did it as a marketing write off is what I did. Okay, so now we didn't lose all that money. We made money, but I did lose a little bit, not a ton. But it's oh no, I lost a little bit. I lost a little bit because no, I'm just saying it's no because the whole thing. Well, if you remember, uh, this is another thing I'll touch on real quick. If you say that you're going to support independent artists, fucking support independent artists. Okay, we had two groups of people leave because they didn't want to pay a cover charge to see a band that paid $1,000 to get in here. Yeah, complaining. Oh, no, and here's the thing too. Oh, we're from the island. We don't pay cover, and that's exactly what they said. We're from the island. We don't pay cover. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I don't. Yeah. No, but it's like no, it is. But no, it was actually mixed group and stuff like that. I know who you are. I know. Okay, pineapple. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it, man. But no, but still. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. 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 Around the rock. Yeah. Yeah. Around the rock. Yeah. 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 Well, the, the and that's another thing too. Like when it comes to social media, I got like 34,000 friends. No, you don't. You got they're not friends. Okay, you got maybe 5 friends if you're lucky. You know, so yeah, that's not what he was saying earlier. Yeah, no, it's like, but no, but still, the whole thing. It's network out there, get thick skin, whatever. But the numbers of following you can get, and don't just get following here. Don't just say, you know what, I'm gonna go to things in Galveston. Okay, well now you go to Houston, you ain't worth shit. You see what I'm saying? Because nobody's following. People from Houston ain't coming down here, and people from Galveston ain't going to Houston. In fact, people from Galveston ain't going across the causeway. Okay, yeah, man, I'm telling you, they don't know. Oh no, that's across the bridge. I ain't going over there. Oh yeah, but yeah. But it's I say I told this too. Here, the island, our demographic, our area that we can hit is really Clear Lake south. Past Clear Lake is not coming down this far. You better have a good freaking venue to get somebody to come down from there. In fact, we were talking. Who was I talking to, you or somebody else? But how we have to do something different. Was that you I was talking to, Nelly? Okay. No, but it's like we have to have an original concept of something here on the island to make people come here. Okay, people can't drive past 12 things like you to get where you're at. Okay, it has to be a destination. Get with the convention centers, get with the hotels. Oh, it was visit Galveston. Okay, get with the hotels. It's like I will get with the hotels and I will throw venues in the hotels. Why? Because now they have something they can offer their clientele that are coming in to stay for the ships. Okay, I have them get me some analytics and stuff like that so that we can see what you need to book. But it's like, understand, okay, who's coming to these ships between this day, and what do you need to book to sit there and get those people to come a night before and stay the night over instead of coming that day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, just do things along that line. But think outside the box. You know. So anyway, okay, that's all I was gonna say. But we're good.